And a good day, all of you. Jean Henderson, Pierre the Beverage Ramble, back again with you. Another rambling edition today from Boatswain Chocolate Stout. Stout brewed with cocoa powder. 5.4% ABV. It gets a 75 score, okay, on Beer Advocate. 3.23 out of 5 on Untapped. So, brewed by Rhinelander Brewing Company up in Wisconsin. Sold exclusively to Trader Joe's. Um, Bosun, of course, of many other beers that they put out, they have an IPA, a double IPA, hazy IPA. They have their heavy lift vessel and something else too. But I think this is it. That's pretty much it of that line. So might be something else that might be coming up sooner or later. So here's what the beer looks like. 5.4. Many would consider this a sessionable stout. I would look at it as a sessionable within that same range as Guinness Stout or Murphy's Irish Stout. I'm not really getting much of a chocolate scent right now, but they say there is some in there. I was looking at the website called the Thrillist, ranking all the Trader Joe beers from 15 or whatever 20 to number one, and this is not up there in a high range. They kind of so, which is why Beer Advocate gave it that score, that 13 score. So yeah, it's all right. Let's see. A little head up top, but it's down to the infamous taste. Let's see. Take a look at when this article was done. Might have been done probably earlier in the year. Looks like it was done this year. This our story. Trader was been from some website called the Tasting Table website. So I mean, there was that chocolate flavor is there. Cocoa powder, we'll think of maybe cocoa powder like Nesquik, you know, or Hershey's cocoa powder, when you're doing a milkshake or a chocolate milk or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm getting. Guess. I mean, it's all right. Again, it's not the greatest thing I say I've had, but it's okay. Um, there's a little maltiness to this, a little, not much, just a little. Um, you know, there's some added character to this. I guess they're using some maybe some a very bitter semi sweet chocolate, which I like. I like dark chocolate. I'm a big fan of dark chocolate. Dipping in raspberries, strawberries, or whatever fruit flavors that some of you like or don't like. Me I like, but that's just me. Ain't too bad. I mean, ain't the greatest thing in the world. So I mean, it's all right. So, and Trader Joe's, a very popular grocery chain, as some of you may know. Trader Joe's, a lot of these stores, get into agreements with these companies and said, okay, we're doing this, but let's get into the alcohol business. One-stop shops. Certain states that you can do that. Certain states you can't do that. A lot of states in the Northeast you can't sell alcohol at stores like that or any grocery stores compared to here in the South. especially once you pass the Mississippi state line. Mississippi state line. Excuse me, the Mason-Dixon line, which they say begins in Maryland. To me, or some say it starts in Virginia, but to me, the South, in my personal opinion, starts in North Carolina. That's just my opinion, but y'all believe whatever y'all want. But anyhow, it was easy to buy alcohol at grocery stores, not really to the package stores. But some of that is going to some of that is changing as now more laws are becoming more laxed, and some states are allowing to sell alcohol in certain stores, in grocery stores. I know New York you can do that. I know there are certain stores in grocery stores in New Jersey you can do that. Just a small handful. New York State, Connecticut, I think you can't. Massachusetts, you can't. New Hampshire, you can. So, yeah, well, the odds are. So, but anyway, they've done these contract agreements with these stores, agreements with these distilleries, breweries, and vineyards. Our names is on it. You make sure our reputation, it's in your hands. If you don't, then guess what? You're going to have to answer to us. And some of these stores have done what they needed to do and have, those companies, those distilleries and vineyards and breweries have said, okay. Some have been successful. Some have not been successful. Aldi's and Lidl, probably the other two stores that are very popular that I know of. Both are German-run stores. Both of them, even Trader Joe's is German-run. Or has some. I think somehow Trader Joe's and Aldi's and Lidl are somehow involved with this family, German family, whatever. But when I went to Trader Joe's for the first time, I thought everything was it was going to be bloody expensive, and I was surprised how reasonably priced everything was. Except for the meats and the fish, everything was about market price, but everything else, the veggies and whatnot, at all three of these stores was hey, this ain't too bad. I'm making out pretty good here. So, since I moved up here to Georgia, I've noticed that. Then you have Whole Foods is another store too. Fresh Market is another one. Cost Plus, World Market. Anyway, but all these stores, they have agreements with these, places to make sure that, hey, we want our stuff to be just as good as the well-known brands, Budweiser and beer, Kendall Jackson to Suderholm and wine to Smirnoff and Jack Daniels and spirits. We want to make sure our name is just as good, and some have been successful. Kirkland's, the Costco brand, they're very popular. I've bought a couple of bottles of wine from there, and they were quite good. I've sampled some of their spirits, not the clear stuff. No spirits, but I've had some of their clear stuff, yes. But their dark stuff I've had, really good. Which is kind of one of their bourbons or whiskeys are kind of reminds me of JD and Jim Beam. So yeah. So the common agreement with these companies, the breweries, and some of the stuff that I've bought from Trader Joe's have really been quite good. I've had anything negative. The Simpler Times I enjoyed. I enjoyed the Simpler Times Lager, the Pilsner, the Stockyard Stout, which is another one that's brewed by Joseph Brau. That was really good. There have been a few others. A lot to mention the name. If you go to Aldi's, I've had some good stuff from them. I've had their Wunsenganer. Ronald J. Terry will probably kill me for I'm butchering that name. Their German Pilsner. Of course, from Lidl, I had their Czech style Pilsner. I've also had their Perlanger, which is their extra strong beer. I haven't had their Van Danken. Maybe I did. I think I did have their Van Danken, which is at Lidl, but I have to look that up. But all their stuff, reasonably priced, very well done, and, kind of hold its own. I've had some worse stuff. Big Flats. Ugh. Kirkland's Light, Signature Light from, that brewery. I don't know. Whatever. That was Minhaus. But in any event, everything I've had from these contract, and interesting enough, some of these stores, these beers that you think they're, being sold, you'll be surprised. In other countries, they're probably under a different name. It's the same beer, but under a different name, like the Trader Jose Dark Lager. And there's another one. So overall, good stuff I've had from them. So I haven't been too disappointed. And of course, a lot of these stores will put a lot of the local stuff that's there being brewed in that state. And definitely the store here have a lot of the local breweries, which is a good thing. They have their stuff, but also have the local stuff. So the Orange Bloom, the Peters brand German Dutch lager, that's another one I enjoyed. That's really good as well. So overall, this is a good stout. I'm gonna say this is. Well, I'm gonna take that back. This is an okay stout, not the best thing, but okay enough for me. So, is it gonna give Guinness for a run? A Guinness Extra Stout or Murphy's a run for its money? Probably not. But for the price to get this, I think it's $4.99 for a 6-pack of this. It's pretty decent. You may get your money's worth. So, try it out if you see it. So, I'm gonna go same score. Okay, this is a C. About a C. So 75, I'm going to give it. 7.5 for the Boatswain Chocolate Stout. It's all right, not great, but all right enough. So if you want to introduce someone to a stout, give them this, and you're not going to break the bank. So there you go. 7.5 for the Boatswain Chocolate Stout. John and Superior, the Beverage Rambleton. Keep on watching as always. Cheers. Live, laugh, and love. Psh. Chocolate Stout, Chocolate Stout. I like Boatswain.